What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 10 drills to make you a great quarterback. All these drills are going to help you with accuracy, your throwing mechanics, being able to throw on the run, and your arm strength. So I hope it's able to help you out. Let's get started. All right, fellas, so this first drill is going to be for your throwing mechanics. You don't need a ball, you don't need any type of equipment. This is going to be called our stabilizer drill. So you're going to be doing 2 sets of 10 reps of this on your throwing side leg. So if you're a right-handed quarterback, that would be your right leg, obviously. So this is working on upper body and lower body dissociation, which is a really key component to have an efficient throwing motion that takes pressure off your arm, but also being able to put velocity and distance on the ball. So I'm going to give a quick breakdown of why your mechanics are important, and then we'll get into all of these drills. So like from a quarterback perspective, you want to think about throwing a football like how you would hit a baseball. This drill is actually a baseball drill. So you're in your batter's stance, right? Your weight is loaded onto your back leg, right? You have the bat right here. Pitcher throws you a pitch. You step to the pitcher. Does the bat go through same time as you step? No. What you do is you keep the bat back here. You keep your weight back. You stay in a position called getting stacked, which means your head, knee, and foot are stacked on top of each other in a column. And the reason why you do that is because now when your hips fire through, the bat whips through. That's how you want to think of a throw. If I'm in my throwing stance, I want my weight back. I want to be stacked. I stride to my receiver, but I'm trying to keep my head and my shoulders on the right side of my belly button. That's dissociation. So now when my hips decide to rotate through, hip fires through before the shoulder, that creates a whip and you got more velocity on the ball. Now this drill works on your upper body being able to rotate into your back leg. When you stride to the target, you want to try to keep your shins straight just for a split second. But a lot of quarterbacks, what they do is they try to pivot as soon as their foot gets down. But if your hip is firing when your foot gets down, you can't delay your shoulders. So essentially you're just pushing the ball. You might be rotating, but you don't have any torque because you don't have dissociation. Torque comes from your shoulders going back, keeping that knee and shin nice and straight, and the hips firing before the shoulders do. So this exercise works on that position, like I said. Gonna stand on your throwing side foot. Only on one foot. You're gonna be here, you're gonna do like a 50% squat. Your chest is gonna be slightly forward towards the ground. Hands are gonna be across your chest. And you're gonna rotate your left shoulder into your right knee. And the goal is to keep your elbows tight to your rib cage, and the goal is to fight your knee caving in. Because if you cave in, you're not gonna be able to do this drill. And a lot of young QBs have a problem with their back knee caving, which puts all of their weight forward. So again, you rotate and try to get your shoulder even with your knee, and you're going nice and slow, but you rotate here, and then you rotate back. Rotate here, rotate back. And you're gonna be doing 10 reps of that specific exercise. So I'm gonna show it from a different angle, full speed, so you guys get a better feel for it. There's a very easy drill you could do to start out your workout to work on your upper body and lower body dissociation and your throwing mechanics. Now this next drill, fellas, is gonna be called our straight jacket drill. So your hands are gonna be tight to your rib cage and hands are gonna be across your shoulders, just like the stabilizer drill that we did. But now we're actually working on a full mechanical throw. So the start of the drill is very similar to that last drill, except you're standing up tall, you're in a perfect throwing base. The goal of this drill is to make sure that your shins are completely straight. And on this one, we have to drag our back foot through, and you'll see why that's important in a second. But essentially what you're gonna do, you're gonna be here in this position. We're doing 3 sets of 10 reps on this drill. But you're gonna be in that stance, weights back, nice and stacked on your back leg, just like so. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna stride to the target. When you stride, it's just like the last drill, but now we're standing up. Your knees stay straight. I'll show you at this angle so you can see. Knees stay straight, shin stays straight. You rotate your shoulders into this leg. Now on an actual throw, what needs to happen now to bring the ball through and to bring your shoulders through? Your hips gotta rotate. That's where the drag comes into play. So you drag. Your goal is to try to bring your right knee as close as you can to your left knee, and your hips bring the shoulders through. So it's just like a regular throw, you guys. You step, hands go back, ball goes back, hips brings the upper half through, and the arms just along for the ride. So again, guys, the reason why I show you these drills that don't require a football is you can do these literally every day. It doesn't put any mileage on your arm. It doesn't require a lot of space, but you're still getting better. And that's the key at the quarterback position. It's about a lot of good reps in a row. So again, you're gonna be starting out here. We'll show this full speed from a different example. Just 10 reps in place. Here, hips bring you through. Reset, perfect base. Here, hips bring you through. So we're gonna show you how that should look full speed from a side angle so you get a better idea of it. But again, 3 sets of 10 reps on this drill. Now fellas, before we get into the rest of these drills, if you are a quarterback watching this and you guys would like a 2-month-long workout schedule that you can follow, go to that very first link in the description below for our Ultimate QB Training Package. Guys, it's 2 months of daily gym workouts for quarterbacks and on-field drill workouts for quarterbacks. We map everything out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We include rest days, we include recovery days, and we give you a video example of each drill, each gym exercise, and the exact sets and reps to follow. Imagine all the drills that we're gonna be going over in this plan, but times like 80, and we're gonna be showing you guys exactly how to do each one and put it into a plan for you. So again, guys, very first link in that description below for our Elite Quarterback Training Package. Let's get back to this video. Now fellas, what you need for this drill is just a simple towel. You could use like a quarterback throwing towel, just like a simple dish towel that you could find in your kitchen. And the goal is to make the towel as thin as possible. So you want to fold it a couple of times, especially if it's a bigger towel. And what you want to do is you want to grab the towel with your middle finger over the top of the towel and then these 3 fingers underneath it, just like this. Reason why we do that is we're going to be replicating some throws with the towel. Now, a lot of quarterbacks, when they do towel work, and towel work is just a way to like kind of work on throwing, having an object in your hand, but it works on something called extension. If you guys, whenever you guys throw, you never want to be that quarterback that short arms it, where you like stop your arm and then pull it back. Or you never want to be that guy that goes here. You want to extend. You want your wrist, elbow, shoulder extended to the target, and then after you extend, if you bring it tight, that's fine. After you extend, you go to the opposite pocket. That's cool too. I'm not going to tell you exactly where to finish, but we need to extend. So the reason why you use the towel is because if you extend properly, like if you don't extend, towel doesn't make a noise. You extend, towel makes a whoosh, so that's why we use this. And you don't put any pressure on your arm, and it's a great way to work on mechanical reps, which is what this drill's for. Now, a lot of guys, reason why I make a big deal about how you hold the towel is because a lot of guys hold it like this, and they do towel work, but that's not how you release a football, guys. When you release a football, you flick your wrist. So we're trying to replicate that the best we can. So this is our 3-part hitch drill. So this works on us hitching up into a deep ball. A lot of QBs, when it comes to power, right? Remember, it's about upper body and lower body dissociation. You want your hips to fire through before your shoulders. And where about your base? Where does your weight have to be? Your weight's got to be stacked. Reason why it's stacked is because when you take a step, it's easier for me to keep my weight on my back leg and rotate my shoulders when my weight's there. A lot of QBs, they throw from here. They have a lot of weight on their front side. So when they step, even if they're trying to delay their shoulders, even if they're trying to stay back, they can't because they don't have any weight on their back leg. So a lot of times on a deep ball, QBs will take like a 3-step drop, they hitch up to throw, and they leave a lot of weight on their front side. So they can't arc their shoulders, and they're not going to generate power like that, you guys. So this drill works on us getting weight to my back leg, and then obviously extension and having a proper mechanical throw. So it's a 3-part drill. You're going to start out with weight onto your left foot. You do not want your feet to click together on this drill. That's one thing you want to avoid. Both feet move at the same time, but the right foot moves first, or your back foot moves first. So you essentially replace your feet. It's here. 1, I rock my weight back. Then I go back. 2, I rock my weight back. Then I go back. 3, and then we throw through with the towel from that position. So it replicates a hitch that we would take on a deeper throw. So we're gonna show you how this should look full speed. Great drill to work on your hitch, your extension, and obviously your mechanics. Now for this next drill, fellas, you need a ball. So now we're going to progress into actual throwing drills and actual footwork drills that you could perform with a football in your hand, not towel or body work. And this first drill is going to be called a no stride drill. So this works on you guys keeping your weight back as you stride to the target. Remember, like we talked about earlier, a mistake a lot of quarterbacks make is they'll be in a base, but they lunge forward. It's like they're pitching rather than hitting when it comes to baseball. So when they step, they push their weight forward. Remember, when all your weight goes forward, you can't delay your shoulders, your hip and your legs kind of get left behind you, so it's an arm throw, and that puts a lot of mileage on the arm. Over time, you will feel your elbow hurt, your shoulder hurt, and velocity will start to decrease. You might have a lot of velocity throwing like that, but it's not sustainable. Remember, what we want to do is we want to take a stride. My left leg is separate from my right leg, or my front leg is separate from my back leg. So when I do that, I can rotate my shoulders back, and then my hips fire through, and I keep that foot under me as I take a stride. So this drill puts us in that perfect position by eliminating the stride. So all you're gonna do, you need a partner about 10 yards away. Your front foot is gonna be open to your partner. Your back foot is gonna have weight on it. Knee and shin are straight. Hands are gonna be in the middle of your chest. All you're gonna do So you're gonna rotate your shoulders back and separate your hands. Knee does not move until your hands separate. So you're here, rotate back, hips fire through. And the hips bring the shoulders through, but we're not trying to do this. I don't want that, I want that. That to that. And that is a great way to work on you guys keeping your weight back when you stride to rep out that mechanical motion. So I recommend 12 reps of this drill. We're gonna show you how it should look full speed. So this next drill, fellas, is going to work on throwing on the run. So as a quarterback, when you throw on the run, it's very, very similar to how you throw from the pocket in terms of your efficiency and how you generate power. You got to separate your upper body from your lower body, but it's a little bit different because you step with like your throwing side foot rather than your front foot. So like in the pocket, right? Let's talk about a pocket throw first. So you're here, say I'm throwing to a receiver over here to the left. I stride to him. When I stride, my weight stays back, my shoulders rotate. On the run, so I could stay on the run, you're running at the target. You step with your throwing side foot. That's what gets your hips to the target. That's when you rotate your shoulders back, and then your left foot kicks through. So that is what this drill is going to try to replicate. It gets us comfortable rotating on my right foot. A lot of QBs on the run, they start their shoulder rotation on their left foot, then they step with their right foot and they're open and they just push the ball. And that's how the ball dies when they throw on the run. So you need a partner 10 yards away doing 10 reps of this drill. You're going to balance on your right foot or your throwing side foot. If you're a lefty, it'd be your left foot. So your throwing side foot, you're gonna balance. Hands in the middle of your chest. Your left foot is gonna be tucked at a 90-degree angle, okay? So you're here. All we're doing is we're gonna rotate my shoulders back and separate my hands. My left foot stays tucked, and then I'm gonna kick through same time the ball throws, and you let go of the football, and your left foot does not hit the ground until after you've let go of the football. A lot of times on this drill, what QBs will do is they'll rotate back, and they step and throw. It's not what we're doing. It's here, you rotate your shoulders back, separate, and kick through. So it replicates that on the run sequence. So we're gonna show you how this drill should look full speed. Now fellas, this next drill is going to be called our shuffle flip drill. So what this works on is it works on you flipping your feet to a target when maybe you're a little bit like off platform, I guess you could say. So like let's say for example you're in the pocket and like you get some pressure to the outside, you got to step up, you roll out, but you see a receiver coming open across the middle and you got to flip your feet and get set to him. This works on flipping my feet but getting to a perfect base. When you guys flip your feet, fellas, you almost want to think of it like a hook replace. So if I'm here and I got to flip my feet towards the camera, I want to hook my left foot and then replace where my left foot was with my right foot, and I want my weight to be back. I want to be in that stack position so I could drive and throw. So this drill, you need a starting point cone, which is a green cone. If you have a partner, you don't need the orange cone. You just do this drill when your partner claps his hands or flashes his hands and tells you to throw him a ball. But you need a target about 12 yards away. All we're going to do is we're going to shuffle until we get to that orange cone. Shuffle, 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 hook, replace, and throw. As soon as the replace foot hits and you're in that perfect base, that's when I want you to throw. I don't want you guys to flip, hitch up and throw because that's late, and I don't want you guys to flip and pause and throw. I want this thing to work on your quick release and having your feet get set fast. So what I recommend doing is about 8 reps of this specific drill. We're going to show you how it should look full speed. Now fellas, this next drill is going to work on us throwing off of a rhythm 3-step drop and getting my weight to my back leg when I drop back. So the mistake a lot of quarterbacks make, like let's say for example, I got to throw like a 10-yard out to the right and I'm taking a 3-step drop and throw. It's a timing drop, right? So guys will go back 1, 2, 3, and when they go to throw, they have all this weight on their front side because they're trying to get the ball out quick. When obviously we know in my throwing base, I want to be stacked. I want to have my weight back so my shoulders can delay, get more power on the ball. So when we drop back, fellas, it should be 1, 2, 3, and when I plant, this foot should be, this shin should be straight, knee should be straight, foot should be under you so you could have the proper sequence. So this drill automatically gets us to that spot. So it's going to be a crossover single leg pause drill, and you're going to be doing 10 to 12 reps of this with a partner about 12 to 15 yards away. So all you're going to do is you're going to take the last 2 steps of a 3-step drop, and it's just going to be left, right, but you're going to balance on one foot. It is physically impossible to balance on one foot with your foot outside your frame. So if you're one of these guys who throws like this, try stepping like that and holding it on one foot. It's impossible. So it automatically forces your foot to be under you. Then we're going to set down my front foot lightly and then throw. So you feel what a proper throwing base should be like. So all you're going to do again, you're here, left, right, hold it, balanced, set it down lightly. Notice I'm in a good base. and then throw. So we're gonna show you how that drill should look full speed. It's a great way to get you to be able to have weight to your back leg whenever you're throwing off a 3-step drop on time, 5-step drop on time, or even some quick game scenarios. All right, fellas, this next drill is going to be called our throw and replace drill to work on QBs who have a wild front side. So let's talk about our throwing motion for a second, then we'll get into the drill. So a lot of times QBs, like remember we talked about this, your weight stays back, your shoulders go back, foot's down, your hips go through, but when their hips fire through, they have a very, very wild left shoulder. So what ends up happening is that they almost throw sidearm or too far outside their frame, I prefer to say, because some guys have a lot of success with that lower arm slot, and that's totally fine as long as your front side isn't wild. So a lot of QBs will be here, and then when they rotate with their hips, their left shoulder pulls, and when they finish their throw, they're facing over here towards the sideline. All that serves to do, you guys, is pull your arm off of your midline, off of your frame, if you will, and you're coming across. And if you're a QB who misses left to right, that might be what you're doing. Essentially what you want to do is you want to finish square. You want to let your hips do the work, but you want your shoulders to finish parallel to where you want the ball to go. So even if you have a lower arm slot, at least it's inside your frame. It's not there. So this drill works on getting rid of that. So all it is a throw and replace drill. So you're going to be here. You want to try to emphasize perfect throwing mechanics. 12 reps of this drill. So you're going to be here. It's a throw, and after you throw, you flip back to your base because it's going to be very awkward if you're a wild front side guy having to flip back. So it works on you being a little bit more stable and a little bit more balanced when you throw. So I'm going to show you how this drill should look full speed. Great drill for any quarterback who struggles with front side discipline. Now fellas, before we show you that drill full speed, if you're a quarterback and you want to learn how to read defenses, this position is more than just the physical attributes, the arm strength, the accuracy. You got to be able to know how to read a defense, how to attack certain coverages. So we have 500 plus videos all on our website based on how you can read defenses. So if you want to get access to those videos, improve your football IQ, go to that second link in the description below where you can learn how to read defenses. So again, guys, second link in that description below. Let's get back to this video. Now fellas, these next two drills are, I guess you could say, like kind of live action drills I like to do with my quarterbacks. So we're going to be working a 12-yard in route from the left side. So if you're a right-handed quarterback, this would be to your backside. If you're a lefty, you're going to work this obviously to the right side. So this is going to be a double drift throw. So it's an off-platform throw. So essentially what you're doing is you're going to have the receiver run a 12-yard in. If you don't have a receiver, set up, you know, a net or whatever you're throwing to at about where a 12-yard dig would be in the first window. So you're going to take a 3-step drop, and then I like calling out drift. If you don't have somebody to call out drift, just do it yourself once you hit the top of that 3-step drop. But it's 2 drifts backdoor, A gap pressure and then B gap pressure. So it's 1 drift, 2 drift, throw. And you got to try to throw this thing almost off platform. So you're trying to simulate an in-game movement where you're getting A gap pressure and B gap pressure, but still having to hit a receiver on a route. I love doing this with my quarterbacks because like when quarterbacks come out to train with me, I don't want it to seem like we're just throwing routes on air. I want it to be like a game realistic. Whenever you're throwing routes on air, even when coaches aren't there, you're just with your receivers, you should always be working different pocket movement throws to make it more challenging, to make it more realistic in a game. So we're going to show you how this drill should look full speed. I recommend doing 6 reps of this specific throw. Now this next throw we're going to be working is going to be a single jab and escape drill where we're throwing on the run. So we're trying to kind of build off of that initial drill that we discussed where you're throwing off of 1 foot to work on your throwing on the run sequence. So we're going to be working a situation where we're getting B gap pressure. So that, remember, that's between the tackle and the guard from our front side. So if you're a right-handed quarterback, it's from your right side. If you're a left-handed quarterback, that would be from your left side. But the target that we're going to be throwing to is just like a simple 10-yard out. And all we're going to do, take a 3-step drop. If you have a coach or a partner, have him yell escape. When he yells escape, we're mimicking like a guy coming at me, throwing a jab fake with my left foot to try to get him to crash, slip out, and then we're going to be throwing this 10-yard out on the run. So I recommend doing 6 reps of this specific drill to work on you guys just getting out of the pocket, escaping out of the pocket, a move you can use to try to make a D lineman miss so we can be more consistent rather than just being able to throw stationary routes, because a lot of quarterbacks can do that. Not a lot of quarterbacks can do this. So I'm going to show you how this drill should look full speed.